Okay, we are here with Kenny Barreras from the APS Athletic Department. Head Athletic Director is your official title.
Right.
Kenny, we're here to talk to you about the bond election has passed and kind of where the new stadium stands. Where does the project stand as we speak?
Well, we're here in March and we're at about a 65% design phase. We have identified a site over on the southwest side of town by Atrisco Heritage Academy as an alternative site. Our initial plans for a site over in the SunCal Westland development area closer to I-40 has fallen through really because of some issues on the SunCal Westland side. So we've identified an alternative site. We're in a 65% design phase for the entire complex, which includes the football stadium, a track facility, track soccer type facility, and some tennis courts initially. And in the February bond election, we passed all of the funding for that particular site to the tune of about $38 million. And we anticipate breaking ground on the site sometime in the 2010 calendar year.
Now, once that part develops, when is the stadium actually going to be ready?
Well, I think the initial hope is that perhaps we might be able to have it ready for the 2011 football season, which is only a year away, but I don't know necessarily how feasible that is. Knowing that we'd probably have a little over a year to complete that, I don't know if that's necessarily feasible, though I know we're going to try to build it in phases and bring it around as quickly as possible. Certainly the football stadium is our first priority in the building phases.
From a football perspective, what teams would occupy that stadium?
Well, I think what we've come to is there's an unwritten rule, if you will, of teams that call Milne Stadium their home stadium or Wilson Stadium their home stadium. I think what you'd find are the schools on the west side, Volcano Vista, Cibola, West Mesa, obviously Atrisco Heritage, mainly playing their football games there. But I think you could also see other teams that are playing home games there, basically just because of how our schedule works out and knowing that we're going to be playing multiple home games on Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, or Saturday afternoon. So I think you'll see a number of football teams that are there, but those four, potential of Rio Grande High School playing games there, maybe splitting their home games between that site and Milne, as well as some of those other West Side schools.
What kind of size are we looking at as far as the capacity?
We've got an initial permanent seating section of 7,000 people in the initial design phase, then knowing that it could hold with overflow up to 10,000 people. One of our design phases that we've built into it is the manner of being able to hold graduations there, where we know we have crowds of up to 10,000 that could fill a graduation type setting. So we have overflow and standing room only seating upwards of 10,000 people. From
a standpoint of games, and you've kind of already touched on it, a third stadium will not eliminate Saturday games?
I don't think so. I don't think it has the ability to do that. What folks are going to find here in the 2010 season now, with a full complement of games at the varsity level at 13 different schools, I don't see how we can eliminate completely Saturday games. I think what you're apt to see is fewer Saturday games. I think where it also really helps us is in the sub-varsity side, where we're playing sub-varsity football games Monday through Wednesday, basically. Hopefully what a third stadium allows us to do and a third facility allows us to do is redistribute some of our games where we're not playing 3 weekdays during the week, during the sub-varsity season.
What is the word amongst the coaches about a new facility?
I think they're all real excited about it. The fact that we haven't built a new football or a facility really specifically for football since 1963, there really aren't any coaches around that were here at a time period when Wilson Stadium was brand new, and certainly nobody around that was here at a time when Milne Stadium was brand new. So I think there's some general excitement about it, not only from the football side of it, but from our track coaches part of it, and really from a lot of coaches on the west side. We have a number of things that we'd be looking to do, whether it's run some cross-country meets out there in the open space. We think it has a lot of flexibility to it. So I think you have some general excitement as to what's going on, not only amongst our coaching staff, but in the entire community.
How about a final word to fans or parents of potential athletes who are going to be participating in all the facilities that are there?
Well, I think hopefully what they've seen over the course of especially the last 4 to 5 years is some significant improvements in our football facilities and obviously the building of our new soccer complex. The school district has invested in those facilities and have upgraded our existing facilities to a great deal. I think as folks walk into Milne Stadium here in the fall, they'll even see some greater improvements that have gone on since last season on the visitor side and up at our Milne 2 complex. And we'll continue to see some things that we're doing at Wilson Stadium again to upgrade it. And then the last part of it, I think, is you're going to see in terms of the other part of what was allocated in this last bond election is we're going to be able to replace our 2 artificial turf surfaces at Milne and Wilson Stadium, which are going on 10 years old right now. So I think we're probably a 1 football season away from having a brand new surface at those 2 stadiums, which is also, always an exciting time and a neat thing to have.
Very good. Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Ron, thanks a lot.
All right.